Hey guys, it's Lori with a Voice in the Dark. I wanted to talk to you today about what we're seeing happening around the world and to um, give you something to contemplate deeply. And that is, how much do you value your freedom? How much do you value being able to pick from different choices? How much value do you put in being able to pick where you want to work, for the most part? How much do you value running your own damn life? That's the question we need to ask right now. President Trump and Elon Musk and all the wealthiest in the country are part of the elite, the wealthiest in Europe. They came here, they made their money, their fortunes, but they don't respect us for it. They don't respect anything about the people. The people are just slaves to them. We're numbers. They don't care if you don't have a pot to piss in or anything else, as long as their money keeps rising. And if you notice, I believe Trump has bankrupted every business he's ever had. The last ones that had to help him out because, the big families in Europe will help. One of their little, buddies. But it was the Arabs. And then he started putting the Arabs down in 2020. So the point here is that it's the reason it looks like a joke and it's outlandish the way it's going down is because it was pre-planned. All this was pre-planned for over 50, 60 years. I've read a book that, that was published in 1946. Behold, the Pale Horseman by William Cooper. Now, they want to take the world into a dystopia under one New World Order, WEF. They're using the climate for the big thing here, but the climate's going to straighten its damn self out over the next 40 years. The only reason, this is a natural cycle every 26,000 years of this type of weather and issues. We've got some of the cleanest air we've had in eons, it seems, since the revolution of the industrial age. And nuclear is so clean now and so safe, and they've got it down to a little bitty ball, and they can just put it underground, and it doesn't have to be this big nuclear thing anymore. And coal is so clean. Do the research on these. We don't need to replace anything. Everything they're doing is what they're trying to take all our money from this country. The elite figured out that they could just utilize our goodness against us by creating grants and whatnot to help. And we endorsed it, to help bring business in, bring work in. Thing is they're doing it with a bunch of shit and they never do anything with it. The new LED lights that they were putting up, there was a big thing about that grant money. And then there's solar energy that, we can put on our house, but we don't get any backup for it. That was a lie, And, because I looked into it. And then you had the big grants back in the day were for ethanol plants. And the last one they built down here, it never got used. It was never going to be used. It was just take the money and go. These are all things that they're drumming up to take the money. You want to know where your tax money's going? It's going there. Are the Democrats guilty at letting too much go? Oh, yes, they are. They got into the swing of things, too. But we didn't know all this. So what we've learned is that we need to take and have a more profound action and activity in our government. But it's supposed to be for us, the little guys. The wealthy were supposed to pay their percentage, and it would balance out things. They were also supposed to be part of our communities and bring in things to help the community, parks and swimming pools and campgrounds, that kind of stuff. Now they're all going into the outskirts. They don't want to be of any service to anyone or help out anyway. These are the most smug and arrogant creatures on the planet. And as far as they're concerned, we don't need to own anything. We will buy what they offer us because that's all they're going to offer, whatever it is. And that's it. There is going to be no more creating for us. So whatever you do, do not become AI. Do not become part of the machine. I'm telling you, there's a reason they're doing it, and that's so they can take away your God consciousness. Don't let them do that. We are capable of doing whatever we want. We have to start doing it again, and we have to start supporting each other local. And every person on the planet can do this. You don't have to put up with this crap just because they got the money. Let them take their money and go sit on a cloud somewhere, as far as I'm concerned. But don't take our land, don't take our dreams, don't take our anything. We deserve it. It's ours, too. These are the kings from ages gone past, immortals. A lot of you don't want to believe in that, and that's just fine, but we're aliens, gang, whether you like it or not. Jesus is from the higher heavens. We're from the higher heavens. But we were turned into slave labor here, and it's so easy to forget who we are that we have forgotten all these hundreds of thousands of years who we were. The waking up is to remember who we are, and that we are just like Christ. We are from the same place as Christ is from, and we all have Christ consciousness within us. We just have to awaken it and pull it upwards so that that's what we're using with our intuition and our heart. I wasn't sure where I was going to go with this, but one of the things you have to understand is what I saw that's, got me going again this morning was how they're wanting to, take Social Security and put it into 401ks. Well, we would have all lost our money last month. There's a reason we don't put Social Security in any kind of fun jeopardy, okay? So that we have something that's stable left over at the end of our work season, And then they're wanting to do something else recently that is, it reminds me of when they made the prison systems corporate, and the it's cost us more money in the long run having criminals in corporate run prisons in ways that are really hard to describe, and some of them are very brutal. It's no wonder they don't change before they come out again. So anyway, it doesn't work. There are reasons that we controlled things. It was to protect all of us, not just some, all of us. Our Constitution and our Bill of Rights is to protect all of us, not a handful, and it made no room for kings. I saw a map. They're wanting to break the United States up into 7 different countries, 7 sections. And it's not just us, but they're doing it all over the world, and they're wanting to break up the big ones and use our money to help bring up the little countries, the third world countries up some, so they can have what we have, similar. But that was their responsibility when they had their businesses there. All these people, they go around and they go to third world countries and take advantage of them and leave a dirty mess, for this causing climate problems and, water problems and everything else. But they don't want to clean it up. They want our money to help clean it up. I say, go clean that shit up yourself. You made the mess, clean it up. We cannot afford to lose our democracy. I believe in democracy. I don't believe in the pyramid thing anymore, and I don't believe that it's necessary. What I do believe in is that the people are worthy of so much more. And we have to decide now just where we want that to be. Because the longer the ones that are sitting on the sidelines, the longer you sit there, the harder it's going to be to get out of this. And once we are enabled into it and it's done, you will have to forever hold your tongue and live with it. And this is going to be something so big that living with it isn't going to be easy. And you're going to have to explain it to your children's children and their children and so forth. So help push the right thing to be done. Not just because you want to be right. I don't want to be right. I'd rather be wrong. And every day I try to find something that will make me wrong. And I can't find it, even when I try. So what I'm saying is, it's up to each of us to make a difference. It's up to each of us to put a stand down and say no more. Enough is enough. Stand down. But you have to be willing to do it. And, yeah, they kicked some people out of the country that was part of a cartel. They're in the country all the time. Cartels always send them across the border. And the ICE always goes back and finds them and gets them and ships them back. But this time they're making big mistakes because they're running on a high-powered, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know, the bully said, go get them, boys. Beat the shit out of them. It's being run by a madman. We are always sending people home. Always. And there are so many good immigrants here. And if you would just, bite your own damn tongue for a minute and your thoughts and stop watching the damn news. I quit watching the news 40 years ago because all they showed us was negative, 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 and mostly blacks because of their inner city, violence. It was against themselves. It was against each other. They weren't over here doing it. That is such a small percentage of the populace of black community or any community. And I've seen more white trash than I have black problems. So we need to grow up. You need to become something more than you are. With common sense, and if you don't have common sense, do the damn research. And I mean real research. I've been putting stuff out here and with real research on it. Yes, I get carried away once in a while and throw one of those memes out, but I'm here to tell you they're pedophiles and they're nasty. So, and I'm not afraid to say it. I'm also not afraid to say I made a mistake. Maybe that's the difference between me and you. I don't know. But somewhere along this line of what you think is going to happen, be good for you, it's going to totally destroy this country. And we don't have the backdrop. Did you know that we don't own our country? We cannot have this kind of treatment being done to our allies and this and that, because it's not even really our close allies that own the receipts to our country. It's several of the big ones, though. China, Arabia, Saudi, and England, and France. We have to fight for our country, and that means that sometimes you got to put up with a little shit to take care of the big shit. And I don't if you're that miserable that you had to vote for someone like this, or If you're that naive that you voted for the third party, it's always between the two, and we're trying to take the best pick out of two. And are we always happy with our own pick? Am I happy with the Democrats all the time? Hell no. But I also figured out through all this crap that, you know what, I can make a difference because I can write emails to the Democratic Party. I can write emails to the Congress, to all the Republican Party, too. And I do. So, Rome never works. The elite in the New World Order is about it being Romanistic. They control everything, and they have all the power. We do the servants' work. We're slaves, indentured slaves. They'll take care of us. It'll be cheap. It'll be mundane. But it will have everything we need within 15 minutes of walking distance, so we don't need that car anymore. We don't need to go traveling anywhere because it's all right there. But we don't get to have gardens either. We don't get to feed ourselves. Maybe indoor, you know. I've seen the apartments. They're crap, and I don't want to live in one. You wouldn't either. People of the United States of America are a little spoiled because we can even buy a junker house and be more comfortable than what those things are going to be. And I don't know about you, but I like making noise when I have sex, and I don't want anybody hearing me because it's none of their business. With those flimsy apartments they're wanting to build, there's no privacy. There's no room in it. There's nothing really nice about them at all. They're more like a dorm room. So, you need to think, and you need to do it quickly, and you need to do your research quickly. Something must be done to stop this cascade of a nightmare. But you have to do your part, all of you. And God willing, it will change. And one of the things the elite here in this country always do is take advantage of grants and programs that we have. We run programs, and I know there's a lot of you out there don't like that idea that we run programs, but we needed programs for Medicare and for Medicaid. We needed programs to help people with health care. I've had to use those programs, and you wouldn't want me to have them anymore? You knew me. But when I was raising my two girls by myself, I had to use them. And I've had to use it since I've gotten old and retired. Don't get a whole lot, but every little bit helps, right? Or are you so cold these days that you believe the crap that they yell, and you want to believe it because you're miserable? So you believe the memes that they spit out, the lies they spit out. None of these problems that they spoke about in Doge have been real. Nothing compared to what, and that's normal. You're always going to have a slip up here and there. You identify it, you correct it, and then you don't do it again. You keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. That's how that works. So, get with the program. Grow up. Deal with what's got you upset. But for God's sakes, don't put your eggs in one basket with a man that won't even bring the price of eggs down. Because he doesn't care about you. All he knew is he could get your skin up and utilize you. And that's it. He could care less about any of us. None of them can. And if you're so against Muslim religion, that right-wing Heritage Foundation is just like Muslim. Well, it's more like Islamic, actually. So go look it up. And that's what you want to run our country on? That's how you want your daughters and your children and your granddaughters to be raised like and to be treated like? If that's true, I don't want to know you anymore. And if you're too blind to see it, I feel sorry for you. I really do. Rome never works. The New World Order wants to keep this so that everything is run by the shareholders getting their money every month. What does that mean? The only thing it can mean is that the people who are working will pay the price to keep the shareholders above water. Now, there are no more fluctuations. You saw Sigourney Weaver in Aliens. Think about it. You know, the dystopia and the corporate rulingship of the world. It doesn't pan out well for the people at all. And they'll starve you and they won't care. They'll cut your lights off. They don't care. They'll call it some other crisis, but they're doing it all on purpose because they're cruel and insensitive. And they didn't want us to ascend either. So if you can do anything, stay in love. And if you got real concerns, that's cool. Send them to the Democratic Party. Send them to the Republican Party. But make sure it's an issue, a real issue, not a false one. Anyway, I have decided to address this once in a blue moon and then start putting my best foot forward with the things that I like to do to keep you positive and uplifted during dark times. And but it's a little hard to do all the time because I just feel something needs to be said once in a while. And you need to understand what you're doing. You can't afford to be blind to what you're doing, what you're allowing at all. And Godspeed. God love you. And let's hope God's got our back because this is going to be a rough ride. I'll talk to you later. Lori out.